Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
And let's start out with Viewer of the Week, because
Yes.
I remembered this week. That's
Yay!
what I'm so
This
proud
week's
of.
Viewer of the Week is Jared, because he remembered. Just kidding.
Because
Jared
I
is
actually
ineligible
watched
to-
yesterday. Last week's episode, where
Jared
I said,
is ineligible
let's
to
forget.
win.
I am?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're the viewer every week. Or wait, you're the...
I'm the viewer every week. That's about the truth.
Okay. This week's Viewer of the Week is my friend Holly.
Oh, it threw me off, because we were talking about a different thing before we started going, and so... Alright, I'm okay with Holly. It's the whole production meeting notes. It gets jumbled and stuff.
Wow.
Anyway.
So anyway...
Do tell me.
Holly is the Viewer of the Week this week because she sent me a great text message this week that not only made my day, but reminded me of...
Why we do this.
No. But it reminded me of something I hate, which is always fun. So,
Don't make me choke on my cough drop.
speaking of Christmas, because Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat.
Please put a penny in my old
Speaking
man.
of fat! Oh, you know what? There's just so many
speaking
things.
of fat, I'm going to let you tell that story, though. Because sadly, this is the same story, but yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway. All right. So, Holly sends me a text message, and she says, do you know what a few of my favorite things are? You, and you. And then hashtag not a Christmas song. Because
I'm so
I
confused.
maintain listening to Christmas songs, whenever they play that, these are a few of my favorite things from The Sound of
It's
Music.
not.
As,
In fact,
as
I'm
per-
pretty sure we've talked about this in years past.
As publicists would say, what the fairy dust? Because that is not a Christmas song. It's not. Unless, wait, okay.
Wait for it.
Unless you want to stretch it out and say brown paper packages tied up with string. Who wants that under their tree? Nobody, because it's boring. Nobody.
Orphans do.
Okay, conversation ending Joe. Foiled again. Why you gotta be like that?
It's because all I could think of is who's getting packages in brown paper.
The orphans,
Orphans.
of course.
Oh.
Well, great. If you're trying to make me feel bad, it's not going to work. Anyway, Holly, we love you. Thanks
Yes.
for hanging out with us. She does watch us, she says, too.
Is she lying?
No, she would never lie to
Is
me.
she
She
one
knows.
of the 20? We're up to 20 now.
Holly, have you subscribed?
Is she one of the 20? It sounds like a cult.
It probably is.
Are you one of the 20? Are you one of
One of the
yes.
20. Ooh, that could be one of our shirts.
It could be one of our shirts.
I'm one of the 20.
Are you getting into heaven? Hashtag. I like how I had to draw that in the air. I have to apologize. I don't feel well at all today. But here I am. They drugged me to work anyway.
Yes, heavy on the word drug. Speaking of drugs.
Go for it.
Oh, there's just so many topics.
There's just so many topics.
So speaking of drugs, you remember the movie Death at a Funeral?
I do remember Death at a Funeral.
It's a good movie. So I lent it to my brother and his girlfriend, and they were watching it. And she sent me a text message. I
Or
showed
I'd like
this
to
to
call
you.
her. Never mind. I probably shouldn't. It's probably too soon to say what I call her.
It's
Okay.
not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Don't worry. I guess now we'll find out if she watches.
That's the
Anyway,
truth.
Jared's fond of the nicknames, is all I'm saying.
I have a hard time with real names.
He really, really does.
That's why I have to work with people with name tags. It's true.
At any rate, so she sends me a text message, and she said, we're watching the movie, and all I could think is, why are these people taking pills like they're candy? Who takes other people's Valium without asking? My reply was my reply was simply, depends on the day. Because I'm just saying sometimes that's how we manage.
So speaking of drugs. No, this is good. As our loyal viewers know, Kate and I were recently in the Big Apple. And this story is Kate's gonna choke.
I was going to say we were recently in rehab or something. Not yet. But as soon as a bed opens up.
They're gonna make us do bunk beds.
We'll be the new Bert and Ernie.
You will. So.
I get to be Bert.
Okay.
Carry on.
She always wants to make me the fat one.
Okay, we have to talk about that next.
I swear we've told that one. Anyway, so
doesn't
Kate and I
matter.
are on the subway.
Not the sandwich.
No, not the sandwich. At all. And I had my back to the door, but you could see these people. So these teenage girls, right?
They had to have been.
Get
High
on
school, probably.
and start talking about the glorious day that they've had being high.
Yeah. And they're not talking quietly.
No, they're
At
talking
all.
Loudly. Like,
Yeah.
we could testify at their court trial.
Seriously. Seriously.
So
I'm shocked.
At one point, one of the girls says, I was so high, obviously I was going to punch you in the face. To which you said...
What did I say?
Kate says, how would that be obvious?
Oh, yeah. How is it obvious that you want to punch somebody in the face? Unless you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying.
Right? So the whole kicker to this story is we totally missed our subway stop.
We did!
Because we were so engrossed listening to these high girls talking
Who
about how
does that?
glorious it was. So
Who talks
weird.
about it that openly in that crowded of a
I
subway
mean,
train?
granted, it was rush hour and
And
whatever,
granted, it's
but
New York, but it's not 1980s New York.
no.
I mean, come on.
And crack, come on.
That's so 1987.
It really is. I just was not impressed at all.
Blanche from Golden Girls does cocaine.
Blanche.
Oh, no, heroin.
Yeah, it was
Whatever
heroin.
it was. Anyway.
And if you don't get that, watch 22 Jump Street. Available at a Red Box near you.
Most likely. Anyway, speaking of New York.
Oh, no. Okay.
So, Jared and I were in New York, and
We blew up your news feeds. Actually, not like we
For
did
a
when we
minute.
went to Disneyland.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Because
We
there's
were
a
better
red-eye
this time.
flight, and that makes us tired, and then it throws our game off quite a bit. Plus,
But
were
we
busy
did
the
have
next
some
day.
good moments.
Oh, didn't we, though?
Anyhow.
So, trying to remember why I started this story.
I am the one that is sick. You are not. What's your excuse? Anyway.
Speaking of Valium.
We were in New York.
So we were in New York, and coming back, we got split up again.
That's right.
So here's kind of the roundabout way of telling all of these
sorry.
things. So I was talking to, of all people, the corporate security guy at my office.
Oh, good
Eric.
work. Oh, great.
Yeah, and so I was explaining to him because he had noticed that some of us had been out of the office last week, and so I was like, well, I was gone. We were in New York. Well, what were you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And so I give him the story of what we were doing, and then I tell him,
And if you talk to my dad, we were doing a syndication deal, but that's another story. Anyway.
I wish that were the real story. Anyway, so we're on the plane. Now, I think it's important to note in this story that we were traveling standby.
Yes. Yeah. That's an important piece to the puzzle.
Yes. So we are given, they make us wait to get seats because they're having weight and balance issues with the plane.
And that's a real thing, FYI.
Yeah, to the ladies. Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Well, no, I heard more about that anyway.
Oh, I'm sure
yes.
you did. Yes. Anyway. Oh, I could just go on for a while. Anyway, so.
How long have we gone? It's been 10 minutes yet.
Oh, Devin's
no.
going to be so happy. It's just not going to end this time. Anyway, so we have to wait to get assigned seats on the plane because of the weight and balance issue, and they're not sure how many people they can let on. So then they finally let us on the plane. So we're sitting towards the front, but we're across the aisle from one another. And I'm sitting next to these two nice gentlemen who I think were foreign. I really wished I had been able to sit by them. They seemed fun.
You think?
Well, if I remember correctly, they had accents.
I actually couldn't tell if it was an accent or a speech impediment, but I was across the aisle.
It was an accent. Anyway, so we're sitting in our seats, and meanwhile, the flight attendant gets on the PA to say, "Pardon the delay. We're having weight and balance. We're trying to, get
You're
people
all too
on.
fat."
Blah blah blah. Stop stealing my thunder.
I said the plane was.
Anyway, So after a while, he comes back over to us and he said, "You guys are flying standby, right?" Yes.
Oh, that reminds me of another story I need to tell you off camera.
A commute story. So he says, "Can we, weight and balance, blah, blah, blah. Can we move you guys towards the back?" So I totally, of course, being me, say, "Are you calling me fat?" And the poor guy is like, "Oh."
He choked.
So we moved to the back. So we're sitting in the back, and again, they're like, "We're weight and balance," making the announcement, moving luggage around underneath, and
somebody was playing Jenga down there. I'm not gonna lie,
true.
like you could hear.
And so meanwhile, we've been sitting on the plane for a few minutes, and meanwhile, people are getting up and moving around. Well, if you're trying to balance the weight of the aircraft, it doesn't help if people are moving. So they make the announcement of everybody
Sit down.
Yeah, can you please take your seats and stay in your assigned seat while we figure this out? Well, this lady across the aisle from me, excuse me, is freaking out like weight and balance isn't a thing. And she's like, "What difference does it make what side of the plane I go to the bathroom on?" Well, it doesn't. But despite what you've seen on Facebook, planes don't fly by magic. So there is such a science to it that you have to have everything just so to take off.
It's called aerodynamics.
Look it up.
The devil's magic.
I thought the devil's magic would... Well, we'll talk about that later.
Another off-camera conversation.
Anyway, so we're sitting there on the plane, and so then they make another announcement where they say, again, "We apologize, blah, 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 weight and balance, blah, blah, blah." So the airport crew members are going to be coming on board to fix it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, that's not good. I know the only way they can fix it is to ask people to get off the plane. So they go to the standby customer who got on last. And then they
You're
come
axed.
then they come to us and they're like, "We just need one more to get off." And so I'm like, "All right, that's fine." So as I'm walking off the plane, I paused to the two guys up front that I had been sitting by. I am too fat to ride the plane.
And being foreign or with a speech impediment, you can only imagine what they thought.
Well, yeah. So anyway, back to the corporate security guy at the office. I'm explaining this to him.
Flashback.
And I'm explaining to right. Speaking of Throwback Thursdays.
You can't take it.
So, yes, you can.
Okay.
So I'm telling
going.
him this story. So then I
going.
tell him the irony of the fact that 2 years ago we made a similar trip, and 2 years ago we got separated again.
But I told you we made better progress this time. This time you made it onto the plane with me.
That's true. And so then I'm telling the corporate security guy that your parting words to me were, "Don't take home any hitchhikers."
It's true.
Because then I'm reminding him. So then I'm telling him about the last time. And
there's
how,
a video about this somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. But I'm telling him this story, and he's dying. And he's like, "Are you kidding me with this?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And so then after the whole thing, and we'll find the link so that I don't have to tell you the whole story now. But first of all, he's like, "We're going to do a whole section about you in our security presentations."
Do not take home hitchhikers.
And second of all, he was like, was your husband aware that you were doing this? And I had to pause and think,
not at the time.
I was like, how informed was he about what I was doing?
He was not.
I don't think he was at all.
We had a good conversation about it while it was going on.
And this is why I maintain niceness doesn't pay. I did a nice thing, and what happened? They didn't even thank me.
No.
Those jerks.
But this reminds me that somebody else on the plane heard me say that to you, and I think wanted me to follow up the story. And by that point, I was too tired. I was having none of it. The earbuds went in. Just go talk to yourself.
That's when you should have given him a card. Look it up.
Look it up. It's one of these past seasons.
It's true. Oh, that was... Yeah. So, speaking of fat... because I claimed to be too fat.
Okay.
It did remind me of one of the previous times when we were in New York.
Okay.
When Emily and I were sharing a bed, and Jared was in the bed next to us.
I swear we've told this.
We probably have, but it's related because it's New York and fat. And so for some reason...
We're not calling New York fat. We do not need to call those people out. Okay. And fat.
And so
please. Oh, man.
Emily and I were having a slumber party moment where we were just giggling and whatnot, and Jared had already cocooned himself. And I don't remember what she and I were saying.
Oh, I do.
Something about chickmunks. And he totally pipes it. We think he's
okay, well, no, because you're not. I'll let you tell the punchline, but so it goes like this.
Because I forgot those
I'm in and out, and I
thought he
hear
was out.
Emily say to Kate, "Well, you're totally a Simon, and I'm totally an Alvin, because if anybody gets mad at me, it's always, Alvin! And then I say,
I am not the fat one! Because who knew Theodore had a problem?
He does. He's very sensitive.
He's heavy set. That was the word of the trip, too. This hat seems very heavy set.
I miss heavy set. Let's bring it back.
Emily, let's go back to New York, shall we?
Oh, Emily.
Emily, come with us to New York.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
It'll be fun. There'll be cake.
Cake? I want cake. On that note, we should probably
yes, we need
go
to wrap
have some
up.
cake.
We need to wrap up because we can't top cake.
Sorry, Devin. We probably didn't make it quite to 45 minutes.
Sorry,
45 minutes. Sorry.
Stop. All right, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.
Please come back and subscribe.
Don't beg. It makes us look cheap.
That's not what makes us
And a
look
little
cheap.
slutty.
They like that.
Sad that it's over? Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. If you like or comment, you can still be interacting with us. And if you want to make other people happy, you can share us like an STD. Or just click share.
Please just click share.
Share with your friends. Sharing is caring.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, subscribe.